Hey, welcome back to another video of H&H Express model and scale trains. In this video I'm gonna talk about lighting the layout. At least lights on top of the layout. Because I have ceiling lights over here which you can't see, but they are controlled via an app on the phone, and I can switch them on. I can change colors to make it a night or a day, but I would like to control the lights via JMRI. Therefore I searched the internet to see if I could find anything which I could use on top of my layout to install a light bar or something else. And most of those videos talk about lights controlling via an app on the phone. For example, the one from Scott Rails, link to his video is on top here, so you can watch it yourself. He did some installation of LED strips, and he is able to make it a little bit a night and a day function, but he uses an app. So I did find a video in which lights were controlled over Loconet and DCC, and that is from Huib Maaskants. I will link it up here at the top so you can see it for yourself. He built a Japanese track, and on top of that he changed the lighting, and the lights are controlled over Loconet or DCC. He even wrote a sketch for an Arduino, and that Arduino captures the information from Loconet and from DCC to create a day scene, a evening scene, a night scene, and a morning scene. And since it's a Japanese track, he also has karaoke. And another thing is also there, which is very interesting, is lightning. And I thought maybe I can use his setup to use that on my layout. Since Huib shared his sketch, which you can find the links from in the description of this video, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna look into that to see if I can make it a little bit of my own. So, and that is what I'm gonna do here in this video. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the changes I made to his sketch. And the sketch is original still to the sketch which Huib built. I only put something around it so I can use it with JMRI. Because that is one thing what I would like to do. I would like to have it run as a CMRI node controlled by JMRI, so that I can use the fast clock and the light table to change the lights. The same what I do here on the layout with the lights of the streets, of the houses. They are all controlled via JMRI, so that I get a nice day, evening, night, morning scene, and if it all functions, also with lightning and thunder. So let's go to the computer and I will show you what I did, and I will show you the components. So what would you need? A laptop with JMRI installed, an Arduino which acts like a CMRI client or node to connect to the laptop, 2 motor drivers and some jumper wires, and then of course you need to have LED strips like these. This is the blue one, this is the warm white one, the red one, and the green one. You can also have a light strip which has all 3 LEDs in there, but they need to be in one LED. So the schematic I will show you at the computer, so let's go to it.
Okay, let's see what the components are which I'm gonna use. First, of course, the Arduino Nano on a shield, and then 2 motor drivers. And we have the 4 LED strips. So white at the top, I have blue, red and green. And this is how I connect them together. So we have here the 5 volt and the ground, and we also need to have the power for the LEDs. To avoid any cluttering, I will remove the 5-volt ground and 12-volt line so you can see how it is wired up via the LED strips. So first we start with the white, and white is connected to pin 11 of the Arduino. And then from the motor driver, 2 wires go to the white LED strip. The next we're going to do that same with blue. So we're going to hook up blue to pin number 6, and then of course the LED strip. The other one is red. Red will be connected to pin number 5, and green will be connected to pin number 3. So that is the most important thing. One thing to remember, the motor drivers, they have jumpers, and the jumpers are for the 5-volt internal external, which means if you do not remove that jumper, the output of the motor driver is controlled by the 5-volt. So remove that jumper, that means that the logic on the motor driver will be only the 5-volt, and then you can feed in external power to power the LED strips. So, and that is how it looks at the moment. So next, I need to have the sketch from Huib Maaskants. So I downloaded it from his website, and he mentioned that we can alter it whatever we like. So that is what I'm gonna do. So the description where you can find the file is in the description below. So what you see here in front of me is the basic version, what he built. And he actually built a separate PCB around it, in which he has LocoNet and DCC connection to it as well. But that is something what I'm not gonna do. So I'm gonna build my own, and as you can see, I use 2 motor drivers for that. But to be able to use this sketch and also the modified sketch which I made, you need to download libraries. And the libraries are for LocoNet and for DCC. So let's scroll down here. So here you see that he included the LocoNet driver to it. You will need to download it via the Tools, Library Management, and then LocoNet. And here you can see that he added the NMRA DCC library to it. That's the same. You need to download them via the Library Manager. The library which I'm going to use is called the JMRI library, but you have to get that from GitHub as well. Links in the description below. So as mentioned, almost everything is in Dutch. Some are not, like here, red, green and blue. But comments, what it says here is pas aan om het adres te veranderen. That means adjust to set the base address, and the base address is set to 101. So there are more in there. I left everything in there as original as possible, but I'm gonna put the JMRI functions around it. What I also need to do is I need to switch off the LocoNet and DCC because I'm not using it. But if I would like to use it in a later stage, I can still switch them on. So let's go to the sketch which I built. So I put everything in English on top of it. The sketch is still original, so if I scroll down, you will see that his text is still in here so that you can adapt it yourself. So here I include my version, so my app version at this moment, because I did some testing before I did a final release on it. It's 1.4c. Here is the position where I load JMRI. If you want to know more about loading that, I can make a video of it, so just let me know in the comments below. I also use definition headers and a heartbeat, because I would like to see if the node is still functioning. I noticed in nodes which I built before for JMRI and CMRI that they can sometimes hang. So I built a heartbeat function, and I can go over that in another video if you like. And in that heartbeat, I let the built-in LED, which is connected to pin number 13, blink every second. And the nice thing about the sketch which was built by Huib Maaskants is that the only delay, real delay, which in there is 1 millisecond, and that is just to adjust. So there are no other delays which hold up the program in this sketch. So here you can see that I defined a true or false method for CMRI. It says CMRI JMRI used. It is now set to true, which means I'm gonna use CMRI for JMRI. I have a section called LocoNet used. That is set to false, which means I'm gonna disable the LocoNet. And DCC accessory used is false, which means I'm not gonna use the DCC. That means that at every section where DCC or LocoNet is being used in the program, I need to put an if statement in front of it. Here is the same LocoNet and JMRI, which is loaded. The base address is still the same, so everything on here is still the same as the original sketch. So there is no changes here. So here, for example, in the setup, I put a if statement around it because I'm not gonna use LocoNet, so I'm not gonna initialize it in the setup section of the Arduino sketch. So I say LocoNet used. So if that is true, then LocoNet.init will initialize the pins to the LocoNet. The same with the DCC. DCC first, you need to address the pin which you're gonna use, and next you will need to initialize it so that the address decoder is functioned or can function over DCC. So this section is the same as what Huib put in. The pin modes, they are all the same, so I'll left that in. And this section is a section which I'm added. So I did a heartbeat setup. If you would like to know how I did that so that the LED blinks and the program just continues to run, then I will do that in a different video. And you can post that in the comments below, then I can go over it. So if I'm gonna use CMRI, JMRI, then all this is sent to the serial port. And you get an overview of yes, it is used, or no, it is not used. So in the loop, a lot of things is happening, and the things which I added are heartbeat, which is the heartbeat, it's a function. If LocoNet is used, then the package will be received, and then later on the package will be processed. That is the section for LocoNet. If DCC is used, then this is the section for DCC. And if you use CMRI, then you're gonna use the CMRI process section. Everything what is in here, I would advise to go to the website of Huib Maaskants, so he explains a little bit about the build of this sketch, because he has a day section, a evening section, a night section, and a morning section. He also built a karaoke section in there and a lightning. So I all used that in there. The only problem was with his sketch is that he used a lot of print commands for on the console, and those I have added the CMRI, JMRI used around it, so it doesn't produce it, because CMRI connects over the serial port to my computer, and I don't want to have that one interfered. that is a little bit of basic about what goes on. So here, for example, you see that section, if not CMRI, JMRI used, which means I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to turn it around. So a false becomes a true. Then he prints out the value of red, the value of green, and the value of blue, and the value of white. This is my way of disabling it. And he uses stops transmission, start transmission, etc. I would recommend to go over that if you're a little bit knowledgeable on the sketches, then you can read on how it works. I'm not going to go into deep into that. And since I wanted to keep it simple, I added my lights section separately to it. So in my light control section, I wrote in include JMRI light control header file, which has all the components used or the variables used. You need to do a setup address, so create the CMRI address, and this is the CMRI process. The CMRI looks at the information what gets in, and it will set some bits, and I created several bits. So bit number 0 is the present day, bit number 20 is the present evening, bit number 1 is present night, and so on and so on. But to be able to have it done within JMRI, I need to automate sections. So Huib has a section which called start of animation and stop of animation. What I did is I created a preset action auto and a preset action manual. The auto is controlled by the fast clock, and the manual is just making sure that a manual action can be performed. And at this moment with this section, what I can do is I can do day, evening, night and morning. I can do all on or all off. I can also do lightning on and lightning off. The rest of the basic from the sketch from Huib I can't do because it doesn't work with JMRI as I would like to. So I still need to investigate a little bit more. And what I do here is I process his command, because this is his function, process command, base address, which is the base address which you set, that it's 101, and then the action. And so I start the process, or if the process is not started, then it says, okay, if the run command is true, which is set by the action auto or action manual, then it runs the process command, and then it stops the process command so that it can finish off. So that's in principle how this section works. And as you can see here, I'm still busy with the rest. So, and that is for day, evening, night, morning, lightning on and lightning off, all on and all off. So, but let's now go to the overview of JMRI. So here we have the overview of JMRI, and I will also show you the screenshot, or actually the video of the lights, where you can see the colored LED strips and the yellow. I have the fast clock here, and I can set the fast clock at any time what I want. I have connected it, and it is called the daylight. So everything what is sent to the node via the light table, because this is the light table which I produced. So I have a preset night, a preset evening, a preset day, a preset morning, an action automatically, all on and all off. That is a manual section. So I created all presets, which is the same as the sketch what Huib created. And I also have an action manual. So at this moment it's almost 1 p.m. according to the clock. And I use light controllers, and you can see here on this, so the preset night will be on at 9 o'clock in the evening. Evening will be at 6 o'clock in the evening. Day will start at 8:20 in the morning, and the morning starts at 6. And then we have the actions automatically just a few minutes before and a few minutes later, because that is how I set it in JMRI. So to be able to demonstrate it, I'm gonna change the fast clock time. So let me put that to 5:45. Oh, 17:45. 17:45. I'm gonna set it. And you will see on the screen where the LED strips is, and also here that the action goes on, the evening goes on, and then the action goes off, and the LED strips will dim a little bit. So let's set it to 20:45. Let me do this. I'm gonna set it, and let's see. So automatically the action will go on at 9 o'clock, just before 9 o'clock. And you can see that the LEDs will completely dim. So let's do the lightning, and that is in manual action. So I click on the preset manual for lightning, and then I switch that one on. I can switch it off again because it is initiated, and you will see it on the lights that they will start flashing. And it is the white light and the blue light which keep on flashing. And that is the thing with this. I can even stop it. So I can stop it as well by doing action on, lightning off, and then turn them off again. So I could also create a button for it. So with a button press, first do an action manual, then lightning on, and then lightning off. But that is something different. So here you can see that all this is working, and I will build up a larger section of it by using the strips which I showed you in the beginning of the video. So I hope that you liked it, and I hope that you didn't find it too complicated. I will show you the installation process on the light strips itself, and I will show you the connection to the original JMRI which I have on another computer. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these videos, please consider to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.